Good afternoon, everybody. Match 20 of the 1975 Cricket World Cup on Brian Lara cricket was played today. Holland versus England. Victory for England would guarantee them a place in the quarterfinals and make them the first team to qualify from the quarterfinals in Group 2. West Indies and New Zealand have already booked their place in the quarterfinals from Group 1, but this is what the outcome was today. As you can see, well, Nottingham again playing a part in a low-scoring match. Remember, there was a damp pitch, the worst pitch of the tournament, where Holland got bowled out for 116 and India took nearly 30 overs to score 117 runs and lost 4 wickets. Well, the pitch was a little bit better today. It was sort of a normal pitch, but slightly overcast conditions. England won the toss, selected the bowl. Holland got off to a good start. They hit 60 runs of the first 10 overs, but then they just fell apart from afterwards. The last 8 wickets falling for just 42 runs. Look at that top order batsman though. 20 off 85 deliveries. He batted it all the way throughout the innings, joining Glenn Turner as the second batsman to bat throughout the entire World Cup innings. 9, 22, 11, 6, 12, 0, 4, 9, 3, 4. Let's have a look at the bowling figures for England though. 11 for 0 for Barry Wood. 9 for 1 for Chris Old. 25 for 1 for Peter Lever. 11 for 2 for Derek Underwood. He bowled very well with his slow left arm spin. But look at that again. Back in the starting lineup after his disappointing performance against Rhodesia. He got whacked for 35 runs, Jon Snow, off just 5 overs. So he really is struggling. Mike Dines did get questioned about his form. He said he's low on confidence at the moment, but I'm going to give him another chance against Sri Lanka. You just wonder whether we revert back to whether he put Jeff Arnold, who's quite unlucky after he took 3 wickets against Zimbabwe. Jeff Arnold was very unlucky to be the fall guy for the match against for this match after his performance against Rhodesia, and he bowled very neatly against Australia in that famous victory, but over them a few days ago. Absolutely amazing, really. If I'm being honest. Really, really amazing. Sorry, I just want to check a few things. I'm just looking at a few things here and seeing where it goes. Oh. Have to wait and see. But look at those figures from all-rounder Tony Greig. He struggled with batting this tournament, but he's taken the best ever figures in World Cup history, 5 for 11. They're also the best bowling figures by an England bowler in one-day international history. His 5 wickets came in just 20 balls. Sensational bowling towards the end, and he absolutely obliterated the Holland batsmen with his medium pacers and off-cutters. And Holland all out for 102 in just 27.1 overs. So that didn't last too long. But look at that response from England. They really struggled, and you just wonder, had Holland got another 20 or 30 runs, could they have been on course for causing the biggest upset in world cricket history, in tests and one-dayers? No one got going. 21 for Barry Wood. Dennis Amiss was very lethargic today, 11 off 40 deliveries. 18 for Frank Hayes. He didn't hit a single boundary. He took 50 deliveries. Tony Greig hit 16 off 18 deliveries and looked good, but then was caught on the boundary. 2 for Chris Old, and it was left to Mike Dines, the captain, to get 8 not out, and Alan Knott, who looked solid for his 28 off 42 deliveries. 104 for 5, but it took England 28.3 overs to knock them off, considering that they took 27.1 overs to bowl Holland out, and they've taken nearly 9 balls more to knock those runs off. Just sums up how well Holland have fielded throughout this World Cup. They used the 2 medium pacers, 30 for 2 and 36 for 1, and the 2 spinners, 23 for 0 and 15 for 1. Great effort from Holland. Holland's batting has been pretty poor throughout this tournament, but as they showed against Rhodesia, their fielding and bowling is more than solid and more a match for anybody. In the end, Holland versus England at Nottingham. England won the toss and elected to bowl first on a pitch that was okay. Sort of medium-paced pitch. Overcast conditions. They got Holland out for 102 in just 27.1 overs, but their run chase was so unconvincing. They ended 104 for 5. They won only by 5 wickets, but it took them 28.4 overs to knock the 103 runs off. Man of the match, obviously, 5 for 11. The best bowling figures in the World Cup so far, and the best bowling figures by an England bowler in one-day international, Tony Greig. Struggling with the bat, but now he's got 7 wickets in the tournament with the ball and he's England's leading wicket taker. But you've got to say, Jon Snow, I just want to point out, Jon Snow, 35 runs of the first First 5 overs, he's really struggling. He's yet to take a wicket in the tournament, and you just wonder whether Jeff Arnold will replace him in the next match. I don't know what their side will be against Sri Lanka, but my goodness me, England will need to buck up their ideas if they are going to go any further. More than likely that if they keep winning, they'll probably end up playing Kenya or Pakistan. Ironically, Pakistan and Kenya is the crucial match in Group 1 tomorrow. Kenya can book their place in the quarterfinals with a shock victory. Pakistan looking to bounce back from 2 agonising defeats against New Zealand and West Indies even more so. But England are top of the group. They won't mind about that, but Mike Dinesh was worried about the run chase. You just wonder, the pitch looked pretty good early on. You wonder whether they should have won the toss and batted first. I mean, we're seeing in the last few weeks, even though teams have chased runs down, they've struggled in the run chases. And whilst teams have got... But I mean, yesterday, for example, a couple of days ago, when the United Emirates played West Indies, they were 60 for naught for about 5 overs, and then once they lost their first wicket, they just completely tumbled. Whereas West Indies were always comfortable in chasing 104, I think it was. But you just wonder whether a top quality side will elect to bat first on pitches like this, and they'll score about 280. Pakistan, Kenya tomorrow. England are top of their group. England are the first team to qualify from Group 2. And are the third team to reach the World Cup quarterfinals, along with West Indies and New Zealand. More than likely to play Kenya or Pakistan in the next round. If Pakistan beat Kenya tomorrow, and Pakistan are almost through, as you can see. Kenya win tomorrow, they'll be the 4th team to qualify for World Cup quarterfinals. We're going to have a look at the star players for England. Dennis Amiss and obviously John Snow. And well, this isn't going to be good reading for England supporters. This ain't going to be good reading for England supporters, if I'm being honest with you. Averages have obviously gone down. He's still yet to get an average. As you can see, no average with a ball yet. He's played 2 matches, Jon Snow. He's not got a wicket, and he's gone for nearly 88 runs. He's going at 5 runs and over. He is really struggling. He has been a huge disappointment so far, and you just wonder whether he'll play against Sri Lanka or whether he'll go back to the team that beat Australia so convincingly. Amazing that the country on a high after the 74-run victory against Australia, and then they produced a stuttering performance against Minnows Holland. Very, very disappointing from England's perspective. Dennis Amiss, his average gone down to 64. His last 2 innings, 101 not out in the first match, but ever since then, he has stuttered for runs. He's scored only 27 runs in his last 2 innings. And you just have to wonder, as we go back, why did they decide to, in the first 10 overs, just to knock the ball around? Why did they not go for it? I mean, 103 is nothing, but they made it look like so much hard work. I mean, it was good bowling from the Dutch. Don't get me wrong, fantastic. They're very good bowling and fielding side, as we in that thriller against Rhodesia the other day up at Lord's. Utterly sensational. But England, I don't know what their tactics were. Against Rhodesia, when they chased 203, they played with positive intent. And obviously, Dennis Amiss got 101 not out in that match. And they knocked the runs off in about 41 overs. But, yeah, today, it's just... England played so well against Australia, but that was so unconvincing today. And it makes you wonder, should teams elect to bat first in overcast conditions? Because we've seen in the last few days, India got 291 when they were put in by Sri Lanka, and they made batting look quite easy, despite the slow start from Sunil Gavaskar and Enkas Solkar. But, it's a question needs to ask. Should teams bat first? A lot of teams have elected bowl first in this tournament, but now, should teams say, we're going to bat first? It is really, 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 really difficult question to ask, but I think the pitch played a lot worse as the game progressed, but that's no excuse. England were poor. But they've won the match by 5 wickets. They're in the quarterfinals. They're the 3rd team to qualify. Whoever wins out of Pakistan and Kenya tomorrow will probably play England in the quarterfinals, so it's a great incentive for Pakistan to get back to form. Pakistan haven't played bad in this World Cup. Pakistan have played brilliantly. Asif Iqbal, the captain, is going to be back for tomorrow's match, so he will captain Pakistan, and Majid Khan, obviously, after the 2 agonising defeats against New Zealand and the West Indies, can take a break almost. that should be an interesting match. Kenya off the back of 2 brilliant wins against Rebel South African 11 and United Arab Emirates. They'll be looking to get back. They'll be looking to produce give Pakistan a real scare. So until that report for match 21 of the tournament between Pakistan and Kenya, that's all from me, Lawrence Howard, reporting on the 1975 World Cup on Brian Lara Cricket. Until Pakistan-India match tomorrow, we'll see you all then. Bye-bye.